tactful and skillful in managing delicate situations. After lunch, we'll have an opportunity to hear from some of our Chamber's member companies about their experience with His Excellency Yusuf al-Otaiba. But let me take this opportunity to thank our corporate sponsors, without whom today's event would not be possible. Our lead sponsor, ExxonMobil, and additional sponsors, Abu Dhabi International Bank, the Boeing Company, ConocoPhillips, DLA Piper, J.E. Robert Companies, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, Occidental Petroleum, Raytheon International, and the Shell Oil Company. How about a round of applause for those sponsors? Let me also say thanks to the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, which have, as always, done an extraordinary job of hosting us and providing our guests with the best possible service. Thank you to the Ritz-Carlton for their continuing support. At this time, I would like to have the head table introduce themselves, starting with ExxonMobil.
Yeah, good day to you. My name is Rob Franklin. I'm a vice president with ExxonMobil Corporation.
Good afternoon. I'm George Salem with DLA Piper.
I'm Nagy Kolta with Abu Dhabi International Bank.
Thanks. Jeff Hofgaard with the Boeing Company.
Good afternoon. Bill Eichord with ConocoPhillips.
Danny Seabright with the U.S.-UAE Business Council.
Pete Martinez, the Raytheon Company.
I'm Jim Jamerson from Lockheed Martin. I want to make sure you see me here because I'm just working on it.
Joe Robert with J.E. Robert Companies.
Ian Davis with Occidental Petroleum.
John Johnson, Northrop Grumman.
And I'm Mayor Fenty.
Your Honor, ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy your lunch. Welcome back. We're at the stage of the program now where I will invite a handful of our corporate sponsors to come up and share some of their experiences with His Excellency Yusuf al-Otaiba. We have intentionally targeted several different sectors because the UAE is a country in which many U.S. companies from different sectors are doing business. So let us start with the defense and security sector, represented by Jim Jamerson, President, Middle East and Africa, Lockheed Martin.
Excellency, I got some advice coming up here. Keep it short so we can do that. Look, it's a privilege for me to represent my comrades in arms from defense and security and your constituency, Ambassador Otaiba, for defense and security. I mean, if you knew Ambassador Otaiba before he became famous, back when he was really working hard for a living with Sheikh Mohammed, and I'm not one who knows that whole history, but you would know that he hasn't changed from that time to this. He was a friend of, he's obviously a supporter of his country and what they need to do for their own security, but he's also a friend of the industries that come there to do business, and mostly because he gave us and still gives us straight advice. If you want a straight answer, you can ask the ambassador and you'll get a straight answer. And I would hope most of us know how to live with straight answers because it's important to do that. I guess the other thing I would like to, as we join in adding our congratulations today, is compliment you on something he's done, and this is this superb staff that he has gathered around him in his embassy here in Washington, and what they have done and what we have been allowed to help them do, and I'm sure more do it than just Lockheed Martin, is to help them understand how the process works in Washington so that for the United Arab Emirates, they can gain the most of what they need, and for all of us, we can sort of collectively get ourselves to the same goals. So, sir, I'm pleased to represent that particular group of your friends and and admirers out here and give our congratulations to you again on this election today. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Banking and financial services represent a very important part of the relationship between the United States and the Emirates. Particularly in Dubai, I think gets more attention than most of the other 6 Emirates. And so representing the banking sector today, Nagi Kolta, Executive Vice President, Abu Dhabi International Bank.
Yeah, I'll keep it short. I'm not going to say a lot about banking, but I'll just say a few short stories about my experience with Ambassador. I first met him about 10 years ago when he was still a student in Georgetown. He came actually to our office with a group of people. I think he was planning to, or thinking of buying a house at the time. I see you shaking your head, you're nodding. And he wanted to get a mortgage. Unfortunately, actually, that's not, a part of our business, especially for students. So, we have to turn him down. And then 8 years later, and I hear that, he's been nominated ambassador. I said, oh boy, I hope he has a short memory. So, and as far as I know, he hasn't held it against us. I don't know how many of you actually know that the ambassador has Egyptian blood in him. And there you go. And every time I go back to Egypt, he always tells me, we share a taste for Egyptian food, and he always tells me, okay, go, have some Egyptian food for me, homemade, Egyptian food, and bring back some with you. And I thought about this as no way. I mean, I don't know, actually, if bringing back Egyptian food through U.S. Customs is such a good idea. I'll say another story, short story. I hope he doesn't kill me for saying that, but last year, actually, I was invited to iftar with at Treasury, and then the next day, I read in the Post that there was a birthday actually celebration at the W Hotel next door for J-Lo. And then I sent him a message that says, well, it must have been quite an experience. I would have loved to trade places with you. No offense to Secretary Geithner. But, and so he shot me a message back and says, how did you hear about that? Well, it was in the style section in the Post. What he really should have said is that it wasn't really me, it was Mayor Fenty. The only thing, probably the mayor was there too. No, seriously, the ambassador is just doing such an amazing job here, and he's very energetic. Everybody's embassy is really working very hard. It used to be very easy to go and meet anybody at the embassy on short notice. We can't do that right now. It's very difficult actually to get an appointment, even for the #1 bank in the UAE, which is just have to get this here. But we really appreciate the work that you've done for the UAE, for all the institutions from the UAE, and as I said, we really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Nagi.